Yeah, quite like total coffee. Good afternoon and welcome to today's live session.
I'm Joe.
I'm Lisa, and on our channel, we call our lives happy hour because we intend most times to spend an hour with you. We have an interesting topic today that we'd like your participation with.
Something that affects a lot of people. If it doesn't affect us, it affects people we know.
Yeah.
Perhaps people we're related to as well. So, immigration and other world issues. Welcome. Welcome.
Thank you so much for coming. Please remember your thumbs up. Noy was here early and she said, "Good morning, sisters."
Morning. Aloha.
Morning, Noy. Then she says, "Going out the door, back to work. Have a beautiful day and aloha to everyone." Because our friend Noy is in Hawaii. Hawaii.
Careful with the lead there.
Yeah. Right. So thank you so much for joining. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Interesting topic.
Yeah. I'd love, if possible, for everybody on here this afternoon to participate in the discussion because it's such a poignant topic. It's so now,
Relevant.
so relevant. Hi, Carmen. Welcome. Hope you're all having a blessed day. God is good
I'm
all the
good.
time. Yeah. Little issues. Oh, I must say this at the very start that we might have to leave on a rush. It might be about half an hour in, 40 minutes in, 45 minutes in, but we let you know because we expect a workman to come. So we might just have to leave on a rush when he comes. But thank you so much for joining us. Welcome. Please remember your thumbs up as soon as you join. And the topic for discussion tonight is immigration and other world
issues.
That's a big thing these
Somebody
days.
had touched on the immigration one last night, wanting us to talk about particularly what's going on in the US, where sure it's not just the US who's having immigration issues, the UK is as well. Small islands like Jamaica
Are affected.
are affected.
Because as well as with the immigration itself, there are lots of other issues linked to that, like people who go abroad with the intention to work and support their family in their home country. So it's not just that they're sending them home or hunting them down or so on, but it's that those who used to depend on them have lost that.
But on the other side, the countries.
Hello, Pastor Joan, welcome.
Hi, Pastor Joan. On the other side, the countries that have this issue of too many people wanting to come into the country think that they have just enough resources for their own folk. So they're seeing it as being stretched if they're going to have to look after other countries' people as well.
Yeah.
So there is a lot to discuss.
Yeah.
Did Noy have a point?
Noy was
world
saying
immigration. Hi, Marva.
Hi and welcome, Marva. Well, Noy had said about immigration, legal way to enter a country, no problem. Coming illegal, consequences. And she also says in the US, the president is to protect the country from invasion. It is law. Government was set up to protect. But Great Depression was bad, so people needed help.
People all over the world.
Yeah. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Please join in with the discussion. We're talking about immigration and other world issues that affect many, many people now. Hello, Cecile.
Hi,
Bless
Cecile.
week, everyone. How are you doing? Joe is drinking a big mug of hotness.
Warming up myself. It's a very cold and gloomy day here in the UK.
Anybody has any comment on the issue we're discussing tonight? Thank you so much for joining. Please do give a thumbs up. Yeah. And if it is your first time or if you're new, it might not be your first time, but you're new here, please consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you so much. Thank you to you as well for just coming on. We're talking about immigration and other world issues, and we'd like to hear
your views.
So please participate in the discussion. So Noy, I think, has gone to work now, but Pastor John, Marva, Cecile, what say ye? What do you think about the matter at hand? Cloudy day here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Okay. I'm blessed, thank God we're here. Mm. So I was saying earlier that the problem that immigration causes to some countries is real, but also the problem is not solved by just sending the people back to their country. You know, it is. I don't think the issue.
It's not as simple as
it's
that,
not
because
simple.
there's so much that people have built up. They have built their own lives there, including starting families. So it's a big thing to just take them up one day and send them back to where they belong. Hello,
Peter. Welcome. And somebody was saying, I don't remember who it was the other day, was saying, like there was some news conference and somebody asked the president, but what are you, if you're doing that, you're going to split families apart, you're going to separate them. He said, I didn't hear him say it myself. You don't have to split them. Let everybody go.
Really?
So even if one is born American and married to somebody from Turks and Caicos,
that person, that spouse, is going into another country where they don't belong.
Yeah.
If you look at it that way.
Enram, good afternoon. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. We're talking about this immigration issue that's affecting lots of people all over the world. He did say that, I heard, I don't remember who it was that said, he said that. But as I didn't hear it myself, I didn't want to say for definite he did. So thank you for clarifying that, because you're in the US. One of the things, though, I think Caribbean people in particular can help themselves with is, if you decide that you're going to set up residence and life and family and so on in another country, do it the legal way. And sometimes you might be there illegally in that you overstayed. But as soon as possible that you find it possible, it is possible to sort
your
out
status.
Yeah, do it. But there are so many people in many countries of the world, not just
who live
the US,
there for years and do nothing about it.
About their regulating their status. Enram said this man has 5 children who are citizens, but he will get deported. So in this case, he should be allowed to stay here. Yeah. But the issues are real, people.
But you know what as well? If in Jamaica you say bly, if they give a bly to people who already have children there, those hearing it now who don't have any might start having, so that they have ties. So many ways to look at it.
Carmen says, I'm really sorry for them, but for those who intend to follow suit will know that they will have to make their path straight before long. But too many people allow this thing. They just, there's a saying, you come here to drink milk, not to count cows. I don't know if you know what that means, but simply put, you're here wherever you go to make a life for yourself.
Life and livelihood.
Yeah. Not to take part in this, that, the other, go here
just
and there,
enjoying
and not sorting out your immigration status. That's what this means in this context right now. So to those who have lived abroad for years and years and years and done nothing to regularize their status, I'm sorry for them.
I couldn't read it from yours. Okay.
Sorry. I wasn't sure. Is it you? Yeah, so what say ye people, particularly those who live in America who are on now? What do you think about the issues at hand? Cecile says, God soon show Trump who is God. Make him go on, although some of these people don't care because they think they're not coming back. Well, they got it wrong. Okay. Yeah.
You're Peter.
Can't say much on the matter. Laying low. Okay. Lay low. Right. There are some who are of the view that you have to look at this thing pragmatically. You have to look at it. There are enough resources, or there is enough resource in the world, resource of all sorts, to take care of everybody who God put on here. And there are some who are also of the view that it is man who made divisions, part of God's place, and said this belongs to America and this is that and that is that. Who say they should do any such thing? Who says the riches of the world belong to that set and not to that set? NRAM, the ironic thing with the USA is that just last year there was a bipartisan agreement, but that guy said he wants to win, so the bill was not signed. Yeah, things like that as well. But here's a little excerpt that we want to read you about the immigration issue. That bill would solve a lot of the current issues. Yes, I can see. Okay. For individuals in the US who are concerned about the possibility of deportation, it's essential to approach the situation carefully and also to seek professional guidance. Here are some practical pieces of advice. And after you read the first practical one, I have a point. Consult an immigration attorney. The most important step is to consult with an experienced immigration lawyer who can provide legal advice based on the individual's specific situation. An attorney can assess their case, can explain the options, and can help them to navigate the legal system, because some of the jargon is so much you won't understand what they're asking for, what the requirements are, and so on. So if you get legal advice, which in itself presents other difficulties, because that means money. And lawyers are of such caliber that they're going to up any price they used to charge to capitalize on the current situation. Right. And that's my point exactly, that so many lawyers now must be just smiling, like a pleased puss, because they must be getting so much attention now and people coming into them, and they're taking all the cases that they can get, whether or not they can handle all of them. Yes. Just so that they can reap the rewards from what is happening to people right now. So I see this as well as a get-rich-quick scheme for some unscrupulous lawyers. And that in itself is another issue. There's another point. Know your rights. Everyone in the US has rights, regardless of their immigration status. It's crucial to understand that what rights you have if ICE, that stands for Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or law enforcement comes to your door, such as the right to remain silent and the right to a lawyer. But when you're faced with it, and they're dragging you, what do? You can't remain silent. You can't exercise that right at that time. Oh, I want to hear from you Americans as well about I don't watch news very rarely, but I hear that there are lots of workplaces now that are shutting down because most of the staff are not able to attend work because they're scared. Because of that fear. Yeah. That due to their immigration status, they're going to be scraped up. Marva says if governments had started looking for and deporting people the moment they overstayed their stay, then there wouldn't be such a problem. Now, people would think twice before they run off anywhere. That's true. And as well, if it is one government's policy to hunt them down and deport them, why is it like bipartisan? Only one party wanting to do that. And also I think the other party would fear that they might not be voted in the next time because of it's always the policies that they present that determines who is on their side and who is not. Thanks for that point, Marva. Let's see what NRAM says. He says that's true in some areas. Some children not going to school because the parents are afraid. Because I suppose if they scrape up the kids, they're going to then take them to scrape up the parents. Well, it's a hard one. One other piece of advice for people who are in this position: keep your documents in order.
ensure that all immigration-related documents like visa, work permits, green card, etc. are up to date. If you have applied for asylum or other forms of relief, keep track of your case status.
Yeah.
And prepare a plan. It's wise to have a plan in case of deportation. And I have including, want to hear it? Shall I carry on?
Yeah.
Including identifying someone to take care of your family or your dependents in case they take you and send you home.
Yeah.
Knowing how to contact your attorney or legal aid if you need it. Having essential documents like IDs and birth certificates and immigration papers accessible to someone who you can ask to gather your things for you. Consider possible forms of relief. Depending on the individual circumstances, there may be options to delay or to prevent the deportation, such as applying for asylum, cancellation of the removal order, or a family-based petition. An attorney can help identify if these are viable options for you.
Right, let's see what NRAM says. There are millions here, so they can't deport them.
They definitely can't, but
they can try to deport as many as.
Yeah.
And those who are in hiding now, how are they going to support themselves and their families
if they
those
have to be
who
hiding?
Are depending on them in their home country, as well as themselves, their immediate family, wherever they live, pay the bills, pay the mortgage, provide food? How are they going to do that if they're hiding? They can't go to work. NRAM, the best way is to give some status to these people, but they're going to say they don't have enough resources for everybody. And as well, some people are going to say they're biased. Why choose these people who are from perhaps predominantly white countries, although they've overstayed, to make them have status there and send home the black ones? People are going to say that. Yeah. So there are issues on all sides.
And then again, some whites are married to some blacks. So then there is the what do you
cross-cultural diversification. I don't know. It's a hard one.
Easy one.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us. Welcome. We're talking about immigration and other world issues, particularly relevant now because there's this big thing going on in America where ICE, what does it stand for? Immigration
and Customs
Enforcement officers, right, are going around and gathering people. You know what I don't know as well? Are they like putting them in some detention centers? What's happening?
Yeah. They don't just take them and put them on a flight. They have to go to some sort of detention center.
Who are in America now, can you tell me how that part works, please? Hello as well to Garden of Grace. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. NRAM says they're saying that some of the planes almost empty. One only had 80 people when there is space for hundreds.
We came back on a flight. Where was it from?
With about,
I think it was 70-something of us
on a flight. Big plane.
But it wasn't an immigration anything.
No.
Just a regular flight. But maybe I think it was TUI. Maybe they had in mind a smaller plane, but then had more tickets. I don't know how it works, but then we had this massive plane where we could spread out.
Right, those who are living in America, can you tell me, please, how it works when they collect people? What happens next? Where do they go? Where do they take them? Are they given the chance to still keep their phones so that they can contact people? Tell me how that part works, please, if you know.
Here's another tip. Stay informed about policy changes. Immigration laws and enforcement priorities can change and very fast. It's important to stay informed about policy changes that may impact your case. Consider joining advocacy groups or following legal resources that provide updates about these.
Okay.
Avoid unnecessary risks. I'll come to that next.
Okay. NRAM says, yes, they have to be in detention centers first. So imagine what would happen with millions in centers. Well, I don't think they have enough space to put millions, but they can put them, hold them, process them to send, then gather in some more, which I suppose is what they're doing.
You know what I wonder? How do they know where you're from? Like they capture me and I didn't have my documents on me. I can say I'm from Nicaragua, for example. How do they know where I'm really from?
Hi, Tareen.
Welcome.
How are you? Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. We're discussing immigration and other world issues, and we'd love your participation in the discussion this afternoon, particularly those who live in the US who can provide some straight from the horse's mouth information that you get perhaps on the news.
Right. Avoid unnecessary risks. If you're already in a vulnerable position, avoid activities that could attract further attention from immigration authorities, such as criminal charges or violating your visa conditions.
Yeah.
So if you're already there and overstay, you should not be working. You can't be committing crime, going into stores and robbing, and you know your status.
Right. Live low profile instead. Hi, Tareen from NRAM. And Marva says they know because they have your information when you come to the country legally, especially on an airplane. So you think when they go out, they're looking for specific people?
That too. But I remember years ago, you didn't have to provide any fingerprints, nor the eye recognition thing. Recently, they have implemented that. But years ago, when I used to go to the US, I never did fingerprints. You used to have your passport stamped.
Yeah.
That was it if you don't present it again. So people who went in those days when I used to go, and before that, how would they keep track of?
I am Ram from Tareen. And Tareen says, I don't know how it works. Oh, tell us what you hear about on the news. Not necessarily know firsthand. I'm not thinking that. But like what's happening in the news, because we might get to American news, but I hardly watch the news.
Here's another bit of advice for mental and emotional health. Facing deportation can be incredibly stressful. Can you imagine if they pick you up from here now, send you back to Jamaica, and you have to start a life out there, leaving all that you have here and know here and have built up here. So it can be stressful. It's important to look after your mental health. Consider talking to a counselor or joining support groups or trusted individuals to help manage anxiety and fear during this uncertain time. Make sure you know by being proactive, informed, and seeking expert help, individuals can take steps to protect themselves and possibly avoid deportation.
Mother says schools and churches here are scanty.
I was imagining, like some people, for example, go to Florida on a boat, like from Haiti, I think. Right. So there's no anything for them in the system except they had committed a crime. So now they have their fingerprints or something. But now they have joined up with family members there or built up their own families. So it must be incredibly difficult to now have to just leave.
Well, I heard that they're giving people $1,000 to those who know illegal immigrants.
Would you give up anybody here? Would you give up somebody you know who is there illegally?
Remember that people are always deported. Obama deported a lot. What's happening now is just to satisfy the racists. You don't see planes taking people back to England or Germany. That's true, and I'm sure that there are people who live in America who are British who have not sorted out their status. I'm sure that must happen. It cannot be just Caribbean people who think of leaving their lives in the Caribbean to go settle in the US. There are empty car washes, hair salons, U-Haul places, because those places used to employ a lot of immigrants. If me never like you, I'm just kidding. Should I get you 1,000? I suppose some people will take it, whether or not they like you. Some people will take it and sell you out or buy you out, whichever one. No, I'm minding my own business.
So she wouldn't report.
Take the money.
I saw some people in Jamaica saying, yes, I know some of them, but are they giving money to people in Jamaica to report people who are there?
I don't think so.
So you have to be in the States.
Yeah. How they're going to give you join Western Union line to send you 1,000?
I saw a little joke on TikTok. This man was saying, if they're giving 1,000 to give up the name of somebody you know, get to the person and offer, give them a deal. Give me 1,005 and me not give you up.
So profiteering. Oh my gosh. 47 need to send back in where? Who is 47?
Massey Trump.
That's the same name. Enram says, when I was in New York, I know of people from Ireland and Italy with no papers. There was even a doctor. Yeah. Even professionals.
Yeah, a lot of people there have families or maybe met somebody and fell in love, you know, and then got a visitor's visa to go there. Then carried on living with the person and just stayed.
Western Union and certain banks are empty.
As it's those people used to go to send our money.
Oh, word. So it is like a domino effect, you know.
It's not toppling.
Yeah. And as well, I heard an argument that some people are saying, like to Jamaicans, for example, Abe, you dash stone back at you. You left we and go America, you never even send nothing or try build up something for yourself out here.
Help nobody out there.
Yeah. So it's catching up with
people have started their immigration process already?
So it's in the system.
Just not. So they entered illegally or entered legally but overstayed. But they have started the process. The process for staying there legally. Would they fall in the category of people who are just scraped up and sent back? I don't know that one. So if anybody knows and can help us with that one. Welcome to Happy Hour, those who are just joining. Like we say, it might be only half an hour, 40 minutes or 45 because we have an emergency and somebody's coming to have a look. So we might have to go suddenly. So if we're gone suddenly, you understand why. But thank you so much for joining in and for joining in on the conversation.
Terrine turned me and split the money. So give you 500 and she take 500. So you have 500 to start a full cub at Jamaica. Thanks for joining us. Welcome to Happy Hour. This afternoon, we're talking about immigration and other world issues. So far, it's just the immigration. Well, there are lots of knockoff effects from immigration itself. So yes, we're discussing the whole thing, particularly if you're in the States or if you've heard from the grapevine or from the horse's mouth, anything re-immigration and what's happening now with ICE, we'd love to hear from you.
So maybe patty shops getting less sales.
Yeah. Maybe patty shops, some of the workers not going to work.
As they say, Western Union as well, seeing less business because so many.
Yes. Okay. So how come the doorbell didn't ring? All right.
We will have to go. Should we? Oh, they're here. And what time is it? Not even half an hour. Okay. Everything is going to be affected, especially the economy. There are people here who were in the process but were scooped up and sent back. Their spouse voted for 47 and now complaining. I didn't know who they call 47. Now I know. I think I know. Enram, as you said, the lawyers must be busy. Yeah, it's true. Okay. Yeah, understand. You put R instead of is. 47 is the current guy in the White House. Where does that number come from? I've never heard that before today. Where does 47 come from? We have a what did we call them again? Workmen. What did we call them? We have what's his name again? Anyway, we have one of them in the house. I'm going to try to stay, but we're having some issues and somebody has come to look. So I'm not sure if I'll be needed to go. 45th and 47th president. Oh, okay. He's the 47th president. I wasn't smart enough to put those together. Joe Biden was 46. So my favorite must have been 45 then. Who can remind me what's the name when people come in this house to do work? Fred. Fred. There's a Fred. Yeah, Joe Biden was 46.
It could be an issue with the roof, so we need to know what's going on for you. We need 2 minutes.
Any other ideas? Lisa. Lisa.
Yes.
Guess where the 47 come from?
What?
Yeah.
Which 47?
The president.
Oh,
He was the 40
7th president.
president. 40 what? 45th and 47th. So they call him 47. So Biden was 46. So that means Obama was 45. But they're not talking anymore. I've told them.
Oh. Yeah, she's next.
I've told them we have a Fred in the house. So everybody has stopped.
Stop talking.
We'll have to pick up another time because we're going to have to go. We have done half an hour. We thank you so much for your participation. We thank you for those who have contributed something to the discussion, and we will carry on with a part 2 at a later date. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. Bye-bye. All right. Thanks, Enram. Thank you.